Damita is one of our great divas. We just love her in the group. She's always posting. She is always engaging. She's always inviting other people, so cousins and friends and stuff. She has in the group. So without further ado, I am going to say hi to my girl Damita, and then just have her to share a little bit about who she is. So Damita, if you don't mind, just share, maybe where you work, or if you're retired, or, what city you're living in. And if you have family, just share just in general about who Damita is.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. I'm so very happy to be here. My name is Diva and I work in the IT management area for a federal government agency. I currently live in Frederick, Maryland, have been in Maryland for about 22 years. I'm originally a New Yorker, so any Brooklynites out there, hey, what's going on? Um, I am married, have been married for 32 years, and it's just the two of us, and we have a great time. So glad to be here, glad to share with my husband and other family members and friends what Fit, Fine, and Fabulous has done for me.
Oh, that's so awesome. Zamita, I don't think we've ever shared that we are both in the same field. I'm in IT management as well. So that's pretty cool that we share that as a background. So awesome. I hope you guys can hear me. I am in my backyard and it's a little breezy. So hopefully you can hear me without interruption. So again, we're here to celebrate Damita's success. We are here to learn a little bit more about her. So Damita, share with the ladies who are listening, how did you hear and learn about Fit, Fine, and Fabulous?
Well, my cousin, keeping it in the family, Beverly Smith Carrington.
Beverly's your cousin?
Yes,
I didn't know that was your cousin. Oh,
yes.
wow, that's so crazy. That's nuts, because I know Valerie, who is a coach, was brought on by Bev.
Mm-hmm.
Val and Bev, I believe, are besties.
Yes, they are.
Wow. She's working overtime recruiting people. Thank you, Bev.
Yes,
so go ahead. I'm sorry.
Beverly introduced me to Fit, Fine, and Fabulous. I saw the transformation that happened with her. I actually saw, her posting online and was like, "Hey, Bev, what are you doing? What's going on?" And she told me about Fit, Fine, and Fabulous, how it was working for her, and I could see it. And so, trusting Bev and knowing, her and her background and what she does for a living, I decided, well, let me check into this and see what's going on with this group. And I've been here. That was in March, and I've been here ever since.
Oh, that's so awesome. Well, we appreciate divas who invite other divas to our group, because that's mostly how we get most of our customers, is through referral. And just like you, many other divas see their friends and families changing, and they're like, "Girl, what you doing? Exactly. You look completely different." And it happened kind of fast, because I just saw you like 3 months ago. And you look completely different. And people would be shocked to learn that we're not over here doing 3 and 4 hours in the gym. We're not over here lifting weights and squat. I mean, some of us do just because we like it and we're really trying to reshape our bodies. But for the most part, to get your results, we're eating clean and we're meal prepping and we're eating healthy whole foods. So that's the key to the whole thing, is kind of what you eat. So Damita, when you joined, tell us about your experience. What product or service did you join first, and what was your experience initially?
Services within Fit, Fine, and Fabulous, you're saying, or otherwise, you're asking?
Yes. So you joined the 30-day challenge or the Divahood, or?
Well, first I joined the free group just to see what was going on, to check out the recipes, just to see how things work. As with any new environment, I try to see how it goes, try to get the vibe, try to see how, the people interact. And all I saw was tremendous support. I tried a couple of the free recipes. I like that, checked out the website, and liked what I saw. Talk with Beverly a little bit, just to see, and then let her know, say, "Hey, look, I'm going to try this." And it worked out pretty good, worked out well. I was not doing everything that I should, but I kept seeing all of these results from the 30-day challenges and just reading what people were going through and just the end results of that. So I said, well, let me try that. And from then on, I was off and running. The meal preps, the support. The support is I think the largest thing.
Yeah.
Just the various ways in which you give different ways of looking at your body, from physically to emotionally. The new yoga program that you started,
Yes.
phenomenal, because I was actually paying a physical therapist for that, for some back issues that I had, and she was doing some of the same poses, and I was like, wait a minute, I don't have to go over there. I can do this in my house. So that's that.
Stephanie, you hear this, Stephanie? She is
Yeah.
over here. You like her physical therapist, honey. All right. So thank you for that feedback. I think Stephanie would really enjoy hearing that feedback. So that's really awesome to hear. So So yeah, you were mentioning all the different facets of our 30-day challenge that actually helped you to stay committed. Because a lot of times we can get started, right? We have the gumption to go ahead and get started, but do we have the dedication and the consistency to remain? And that's where our accountability comes in. You're assigned a coach. The coach will inbox you. Sometimes our coaches will text you. Sometimes our coaches will call you. It just depends on who your coach is and how serious they believe you are. If you are committed, we are just as committed. We will match your level of commitment. And so when you join our 30-day challenges, you will find that you're able to do more than you were before. Even if you don't finish the entire challenge, which we do encourage, and most of our ladies do finish the challenge, maybe 75% will finish for the 30 days. But even if you don't finish, we can almost guarantee that you will do more than you did the last time, or with the last thing that you did. You will be progressively changing and progressively growing. Because one of the things that we advocate, one of the things that we push is not perfection, right? You don't have to do things perfectly. Damita mentioned earlier that I didn't do everything like I was supposed to do. Well, you're not expected to be perfect. You're expected to be better than yesterday. If yesterday, maybe you missed 2 meals, try not to miss 2 meals the next day. Don't beat yourself up over mistakes. A lot of times we have ladies who will go ahead and get started on a journey, and we'll quit because we're not perfect. We'll quit because we missed a meal, or we'll quit because we're not looking like the person who's posting in the group. So don't quit because you're not perfect. And also another great note is don't quit or don't even compare yourself to the next person who's in the group, right? So my journey and Damita's journeys are completely different. We're completely different because we're completely different people, right? So you have to expect that my hair is different than her hair. My nails are different than her nails. My nose, my skin, my teeth, it's all different than hers. And so my weight loss journey is no different. It will be completely different than Damita's because we are different. And oftentimes we're on Instagram and we're on Pinterest and we're on Facebook and we're like, oh, look how she looked after 30 days. Or, oh, look what she did after 10 days. And you don't get the same results, so you quit. You have to learn to accept and love the body that God gave you and keep moving forward based on what you have, based on your testimony. And oftentimes, Damita, we talked about this earlier, we are leaning on a scale to determine how successful we are. And oftentimes we fail because the scale, first off, that's a shirt right there. I just need to say that that's a shirt. We fail because of the scale. Somebody write that down. We fail because of the scale is not on our side. And one of the things we preach over and over again is the scale is like a bad boyfriend. He sucks, right? He all in your face and want to be with you. Talk about, I'm down for you. I'm losing with you. I'm always with you and all of that. But over time, he might leave and you just like, wait a minute, hold up. I thought you was down for me. Now you done popped up and left. The weight that went up. What's going on? But the scale can change for all these myriad of reasons. And Damita and I were talking about earlier how the focus should really just be on your health and being healthy. So with that message in mind, Damita, share with us your diabetic journey from being diagnosed as pre-diabetic and then realizing how much you weigh, completing several challenges with us, and then realizing how much you weigh, but then getting the news about your diabetic diagnosis after our challenges. Share that story with the ladies so they can hear what I heard.
All right. So a couple of years ago, I was diagnosed as being pre-diabetic. And for those of you who may not know what that is, your A1C levels are supposed to be at certain levels. And I believe it should be at a 5.7. If it's at 5.7 or higher, I should say, up to a certain level, you're considered pre-diabetic, which is like a warning. And some of the papers that I read said that it could be anywhere from a few years to 10 years before it develops into pre-diabetes. But you don't know where you are in that range. So that was very concerning because diabetes runs in my family on both my maternal and my paternal side. And that's certainly something that I did not want, a journey that I did not want to take, if at all possible for me to avoid it. So I tried a couple of things on my own, quite a few things on my own that just did not work. I'm was a heavy starch eater, rice, grits, gravy, sausage, all them country things. My family's from South Carolina that taste so delicious to me at the time, but that was just damaging my body. And so I joined Fyne Fabulous, and one of the things that they preach is clean eating. It's clean eating, but it is also good. The recipes that they share with us are just phenomenal. I've been exposed to some things that I had not eaten, and they were delicious. And that's what made the difference for me in starting the journey and even deciding to stay with it. So in clean eating, we don't eat processed foods. We try to eat everything just as natural as possible. So I no longer, even my recycle bin has gone down tremendously because I don't have all that boxed prepackaged things.
That's a good point. That's such a good point. And I don't mean to interrupt, but I do want to highlight something you said that I think was major. And I want to kind of echo it to everyone who is listening. So Damita said that one of the things that really helped her to continue on her journey was the fact that she was eating clean, whole foods that taste good. A lot of times what we are doing is we're like, okay, I need to lose some weight. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to get some Slim Fast. I'm going to get, the Jenny Craig out the box, or I'm going to do the green smoothie for, 10 days and then another 10 days. And, those kinds of things, while they may work for a short period of time, what happens is what happens when you go back to regular life? Like, how are you going to sustain drinking green smoothies all the time, or just green smoothies, or just salads, or just beans, or eating like a bird, not eating enough? So one of the things that we promote is eating 5 to 6 times a day. It sounds like a lot, but it's small meals that taste good. And we give you the recipes. So, it's not like you have to, I need to figure this out and I need to wonder, how am I going to season it? We're there to show you how to season it. We offer discounts on the seasoning. We offer discounts on foods. We offer discounts on some of the meal prep containers. So the point that was so wonderfully made by Damita is one of the major things that helped her to move forward. Even if you don't go with Fyne Fabulous, just try and find foods that you enjoy. And in order for her to find the foods that she enjoyed, Damita, correct me if I'm wrong, but you had to have an open mind to try things you've never tried before. Absolutely. You tried asparagus. You've tried Brussels sprouts. You've tried things that you're like, now I know this is nasty. It just don't sound right to eat this, right? This is not from my Southern roots. It's not smothered. It's not, it's not Cajun. It's not blackened. It's not what I'm used to eating. But if you open your mind and try new things, try a new way of eating, you'll get amazing results. So I heard that and I couldn't help myself. I had to interject that even if you don't go with it, Fyne Fabulous, remember, you need to include foods that you enjoy. And the only way to find them is to try them. Sounds real simple, but a lot of us are like, oh, I never had quinoa. I don't want to try that. Oh, I don't like brown rice. Well, try it with these liquid aminos. Liquid aminos? What is that? That sounds like something in your belly when you're pregnant. No, it's not. So it's oftentimes the woman who has, like Damita has, the will to just try and change her life. She didn't want to be pre-diabetic anymore. So she was willing to make that change. And that is very much key. I'm very sorry. So continue on.
Oh, no problem at all. And so in trying those various meals and things, I started noticing changes in my body. I believe the first challenge that I tried was, the recipes were low sugar, low carbs. And the first thing that I noticed is that my mind was clearer. I wasn't as groggy. And, that 12 o'clock after lunch itis that I would typically get and want to go in my car at lunchtime and perhaps take a nap, that wasn't there anymore. And so that told me that at least from the point of the carbs turning into sugar and that was already making a difference in my life within, I'd say, 3 or 4 days. So that was the immediate thing. Beg your pardon?
How was your sleep? Your sleep? Did your sleep get impacted at all?
I slept better. I did. And that's a challenge for me. Sleeping is a challenge for me. And during that period of time, I did sleep better. I certainly did.
Awesome.
And not taking that nap at lunchtime helped as well because there was no need for
that. Yes. And a lot of folks think that working out is what gives you more energy. And working out definitely gives you muscles and it definitely gives you cardiovascular endurance. But when it comes to energy, that comes from the food choices. So we can work out all day long. But if I eat a burger, guess what? I'm still going to be sleepy. If I eat fries, if I eat ice cream, all those latent things, and I'm not saying we should never have them, but just realize the impact on your body when you do. Just realize that headache might be from that chocolate. You don't just get migraines just to get them. You eat chocolate every day, or you drinking, Dr. Pepper, Coke, or whatever every day. You get these high spikes in sugar and they're giving you a headache. And you're like, why do I get headaches all the time? Why can't I sleep? Because you hype from all that caffeine you didn't drank all day. We're not making the food to life connection. And I'm so blessed because Damita and I did not have this conversation. This is all from her. Like she realized that it's the food that she was eating that helped make her sleep better, that helped make her have more energy during the day, because you're not just forcing your body to sit there and process all these foods. You're actually feeding it and allowing it to be who it should be. The person who's moving, the person who's engaging, the person who's smiling. You're able to be more of Damita during your day when you're eating the way God wants us to eat, which is from the earth, which is whole, which is not from the packaged goods. And I'm so happy you mentioned about recycling, because I never thought about how we over here saving the planet with it too. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. So I'm going to pause there and then let you continue what you were sharing.
So the other thing that helped is that I had some bad habits. And as I may have said before, I'll start things in terms of dieting, which is what I was doing previously, and not finishing them. Or if I did finish the diet, those results that I was trying to get rid of eventually came back. So with the meal prepping, with the Saturday schedule of doing our shopping, what Nicole does is she sends out the menu and the recipes for the week on Fridays, and that enables us to go shopping on Fridays or Saturdays. We post our pictures on Saturdays where we went shopping with our little shopping baskets and things like that, if you choose. And during the challenge, you're assigned a partner. And that accountability with my partner checking in with me, with my partner sharing with me, behind the scenes, us having private texts about some of the challenges or just even supporting each other was absolutely tremendous. I was skeptical because I'm like, okay, this is all social media. I'm not seeing these people. How are we going to do this? But it worked out fantastically. And I was just amazed at the support and truly the love that you do feel in the relationships that you do build with some of these ladies, because we're in this together. And as you said, it's not something that we're in competition for or even judgmental about at all. We talk about our failures. So I don't want you to think that it's all about our successes. I shouldn't say fail. We may step off the bandwagon for a little bit, but you're encouraged to get back on.
You're encouraged to get back on. Yeah. So there's no competition. There shouldn't be any comparison, but sometimes that's so natural for you to see, you know, Diva XYZ abs and go, dang, wish I had, dang, look at that girl abs. You know, I wish I had those abs. It's natural to feel that, but use that as fuel to fuel your own body, you know, the right way. So you too, that should be motivation. You too can have, you know, abs like this if you are consistent. And a lot of times we can't, for whatever reason, go past a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. You have to hold on. And the accountability is what we use to keep you holding on. And the realness and the intimacy of the group where we are really just sharing. I will share with you. I had a cookie and I shouldn't have, but Lord have mercy, I won't have another, right? I won't have another because I know that this is not on my journey. This is not what I want. So I will stop. And I need your help. Pray for me while I stop with these cookies. And then we'll offer up suggestions. Hey, if you like cookie, you might also like the apples with popcorn and peanut butter drizzled on it. It's sweet. It's salty. You know, it tastes really good. So try that next time instead of a cookie. Or, hey, if you like cookie, why don't you make nice cream where you take frozen berries and put it in a blender and eat it like a popsicle. It's just as sweet, right? And it's healthy and it won't impact your journey. So we give tips to help you, to empower you, and to show you that we make mistakes too. Like, I have no reason to lie. I have no reason to sit here and be someone or something that I am not. I fail all the time. I fail constantly. But the one thing I will never do is give up, right? My favorite quote, my favorite saying is, I might fall down 7 times, but I will always get up 8. I will always continue to get up even after a failure. And like Damita said, it's really not a failure. It's just a setback. A lot of us think that success is succeeding and getting to the actual goal that you want to get to. Success to me is staying on the journey. Even if I'm not at my goal weight, if it's 3 months later and I'm still on a journey, I am successful at losing weight, because you know how many people who haven't started? Do you know how many people who can't stay or last this long? Success is continuing to improve week after week and day after day. If you can look back at last December and say that I am better at meal prepping, better at working out, and better at hydrating than I was last December or this December, then you've won. You've won this thing. The thing is your mindset and making sure that you can actually think about this journey that we're on, these challenges as we do them. It's not just a challenge that's given to me by Fyne Fabulous, but this is how I'm about to eat for life. The burgers are now going to be the anomaly versus the salad or the chicken tortillas as the anomaly. My base is going to be healthy, and I am going to treat myself every now and again. We have to reverse, you know, kind of how we think about things. So now that we're talking about food, and we know that accountability was a huge thing for Damita. We know that the types of food that she ate kept her satisfied, so she kept going and she was seeing the results that she wanted. Damita, share with us some of the meals that you were eating, because apparently these meals make you kind of not be pre-diabetic no more. So share with us some of the meals, some of your favorites, just maybe 2 or 3 of your favorite meals that you were eating while you were with us.
Well, one is you have these oatmeal overnight meals that we make with almond milk or coconut milk or fruit that we put in them. And it's so easy because you make the oats overnight and the next day you can eat them. These are not cooked, but they are absolutely delicious and quick and convenient. Another thing that I like is something that we made this week, well, that I made this week, was the sweet potato and black bean chili.
Oh my
And
God, so
when I read it, I was like, really? Is this going to work?
that
But
can't
I
be
am a chili
good.
lover. I love sweet potatoes. Black beans is something that I have learned to enjoy since I've been a part of Fyne Fabulous. And it's the seasonings that made that meal absolutely pop. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another one. Those are two of my favorites that I can mention. I have quite a few, but I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, well, that's awesome. I'm happy that you mentioned the flavorings and the seasonings, because a lot of times we may add a half a teaspoon of salt, but most of our flavorings, you can attest to this, come from herbs.
Yes.
You know, we're always adding parsley, cilantro, rosemary, basil. I'm sure a lot of you who are watching have tried some herbs that you haven't tried before. We're putting mint leaves in our water, right? We're adding cucumbers here and there. So it's not just about seasoning our food, but it's also about seasoning what we drink, because weight loss also has to do with getting that gallon in a day.
Yes.
And again, if you don't reach the gallon, as close to it as you can for your body works, right? It absolutely, absolutely works. So Damita, tell us about your weight and what happened there. Because if I remember correctly, you really didn't lose that much. And then you were kind of like, I don't know about this. Like, how can I not? You were disappointed. So share about that journey. You were consistent, but the scale, ooh, it was on you.
Yes, when I first started with Fyne Fabulous, I lost a decent amount of weight. I was very pleased. But after changing my dietary habits, I guess I reached a plateau. I actually reached a brick wall. And I was getting frustrated. I was disappointed. And the thing about it, I want to say, is that I know better. I know that looking at the scale is something from other journeys that I've had, is something that does not tell your entire story. I know that if I look at my clothes and they're looser and I can get into clothes that I may not have gotten into a year or two ago, then that is what Nicole and the Divahood calls our our non-scale victories, NSVs. But that little voice of weighing myself every week and seeing it either not move or go up or go, not significantly down was very discouraging. So when I got the email from my doctor of my blood work and my levels, which were at 6.1, remember that 5.7 was the key number for me. I needed to be below that. My number in January was 6.1. When I took the test earlier this month, earlier December, it was down to 5.4. And one of the and one of the comments that I made is that I walked out of my doctor's office. I had an S on my chest and I walked out like a boss, because me and my doctor was high-fiving and everything, because it had been a struggle for me. And to see it drop that significantly, that was all the validation that I needed, even though the clothes were looser and other things that I was aware of was happening with me. That scale still stuck in my mind. Those numbers stuck in my mind. And so now I'm on a different track. I'll get on the scale because it's something that we have to do to measure ourselves. But really, I'm looking at some other things that's happening in my body and letting that tell my story. So that's what I want to say.
That is the testimony right there. That is the heart of why we're even doing this call right here, is because imagine if you would have quit when you saw the scale. Imagine if you would have just said, forget it, I'm going to just eat my burger anyway because I haven't even lost 5 pounds again. Imagine. So thank God that your doctor's appointment was scheduled when it was.
Yes.
Because imagine, had it not been, what your holiday would have been like. I would imagine you would not have tried my sweet potatoes and black bean, because you would have been like, what sense does it make? I imagine that you would have just gone in and indulged. So we thank God for the scheduling of that doctor's appointment. And we thank God for your consistency and for all the women who circled around you, like Bev and Val and Sal and all of the wonderful ladies in the Divahood who said, we're cheering for Damita. We want Damita to be successful. We want her to reach her goal. And we want all the women in the Divahood to reach their goals. And you ladies may or may not know this, but we pray for you, whether we're in the group or not. We're on side chat saying, let's say a prayer for all the women in the group. Let's make sure that this is a successful challenge for us and for them. Let's make sure that they're excelling beyond their own beliefs. Let's make sure that God is in the midst of all that we're doing and all that we're saying and all that we're sharing, that he is with us and that he is with them. And let's go and lose this detrimental, health ailing weight, right? I am so grateful that you went to the doctor and you chose and you saw that you were more healthy. Now, the scale would have told you that you just the same. But the doctor's report showed you that you are more than, better than, increased than. You are Damita 2.0 since the last time that doctor saw you.
That's right.
And so that had to have given you motivation. It had to have been like, oh, where my sweet potato and black beans at? I'm about to get it going this holiday. And so I appreciate you posting and sharing and being in the group with us and hashtagging the healthy holiday and just being an inspiration for everyone in the group, because it's totally and completely needed. So you keep going, Damita. You don't quit. You keep inspiring. You keep sharing, and I will do the same. Now, I am going to ask for anyone who is listening, because we're wrapping up at this point. We don't want to take up too much of Damita's holiday time or even too much of your time, but I do want to hear if there are any questions that you guys have for me or have for Damita about our challenges, about what's coming up next, about her journey, about her diabetes or all close call with diabetes. If you have any questions, please do post them. And I do want to share that we do have another challenge coming up. It starts January 8th. We're going to be doing a book club. We're going to have tons of videos about cooking this time. And so it's going to be a great time of bonding and connecting. And you don't have to know someone to be in the group, because by mere fact of you being in the group, we down with you. You join us, we down with you. You post, we post. You post, we like. You post, we comment. Right? You do what you do, we do what we do. We are here to serve. We are here to honor. So we're looking for questions. I don't believe I see any questions. I'm gonna scroll just a little bit. Beverly says, "Great job, cousin."
Oh, thanks, cuz.
Valerie says, "I need a bigger cabinet for the seasoning." Girl, don't get me started. Don't get me started. And then let's see. Valerie says, "Sometimes we're so hard on ourselves." This was early in the conversation. Celestine says, "Girl, that quinoa tastes so good."
Bet it does. Bet it does.
Oh, and Beverly says, "I can testify that I'm eating things I thought I would never eat." And then Amina Reed says, "I tried the green smoothies as well. I love the recipes from Fyne Fabulous." Thank you, Amina. So thank you, ladies, so much. I see you, Carolyn, leaving a comment as well. Thank you, Bev, for the feedback on yoga. Thank you, Stephanie, for being our yoga leader. Thank you, Coach Celestine, for all of your hard work on the Divahood. Thank you, Coach Val, for just being fabulous, honey. You are really knocking out adding all those women to the group. We want to thank Coach Gigi for all of her work in the Divahood. And I want to just thank everybody in the group for supporting each other. It is the love and the camaraderie and the sisterhood that we have all across Fyne and Fabulous. Like, even when I'm not online, y'all are just doing what y'all do. So it's not just about me. It's about the whole community and everybody just loving on each other. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing, because I've never met Damita. I've never met Val or Beverly or tons of the women. Most of the women, I've never even met them. But our hearts have met. That's how I feel. Our energies have met, because we're all in here trying to do the same thing on one accord, just trying to be better women, trying to be better women for our families. And so if you are looking to join us, you can stay in our free group. We share in there all the time. If you are looking for greater and more committed accountability, we have our Divahood. Our Divahood offers 50% off of our 30-day challenges. Our 30-day challenges are far more structured. We require certain things like submitting your stats, submitting your pictures. They're all private in a private group, a separate group from everything. So if you're interested in joining any of that, it is 50% off for our Divahood members. The last day to join is January 2nd. And we will be back again with another diva who wants to share her story with you on tomorrow. So I will be revealing who that diva is later today or early tomorrow. But for now, we want to say thank you to Damita for her time, her energy, and her story. And thank you for everyone who listened. Have a happy holiday and happy new year from Fyne Fabulous. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much.
Bye.